Guys, today we are going to be reviewing the sample team of Gengar, Eggxecutor, and Starmie. Holy crap. So, what do we have on the agenda today? Well, first we have our bait lead. If they have Starmie as their lead, guess what you're clicking? You're clicking Thunderbolt! Holy schmoly. Or you're maybe trying to hypnotize whatever they throw on the field. If they throw out Chansey, or if you predict the Chansey, guess what you're throwing out? Hypnosis! What? And, of course, Psychic for the low defensive if they throw out Snorlax or whatever the fuck. And then you just explode. Um, I mean, that's quite the game plan. Power 170 explosion. It's pretty much like Executor, when you're running Starmie Zapdos. So, a fairly simple agenda. However, you are going to be wanting to be putting things to sleep. You may be wanting to put like things like Rhydon to sleep because they're going to be a nuisance to deal with due to the lack of Blizzard on the Starmie. And Blizzard, I believe, Ice only being on this with Earthquake. And yes, Snorlax does not have Earthquake on this team. So you may be wanting to put their Rhydons to sleep or their big bulky rock Pokemon, which can maybe hurt some of your team. But it shouldn't matter because you have Executor with Mega Drain. So pretty much effectively, Executor is going to be more so your Rhydon coverage with Mega Drain and Psychic. No sleep on the Executor, but don't worry, we do have a second sleeper over here on the Chansey. However, Executor does run Stun Spore, so you're going to be wanting to paralyze their shit. Obviously not paralyzing their Rhydon because Rhydon is immune to that. However, we do also run Explosion because they're high special attackers, and we are kind of weak against special attackers. I mean, not particularly, since we're running a lot of Psychic Pokemon. So, Explode on their high special attackers. Now, Chansey gets Sing, Seismic Toss, just a second sleeper in case your main sleeper needs to explode on something like ASAP, no Rocky, perhaps a Alakazam or something of the sorts. So, you can run Sing, Seismic Toss, but you shouldn't be really needing to explode on those big things because we're running Hyper Beam Snorlax with Paralysis. So Paralysis Hyper Beam Snorlax is going to be phenomenal against those big, bulky, physical guys. And Reflect and Rest, of course, to make it a wall, an absolute unit on the field. You want to be fucking up that shit hard. So, Chansey Thunder Wave, Soft Boil, of course, per the usual. Seismic Toss for those special attack fucking weaknesses, dude. Please Seismic Toss that Alakazam. Destroy it into the ground and then Hyper Beam it to oblivion. That's what I beg of you to do with this team. And of course, with the Starmie, Surf, Thunderbolt, Thunder Wave, Recover, what is it doing? Well, no Blizzard on the Starmie. I mean, that's kind of expected because you want to be surfing up those more ground type Pokemon. And I do believe ground is weak to water in this generation. And Thunderbolt for the shock value on their Starmie. They throw out Gengar. They swap out, maybe your Gengar explodes, whatever. They throw back in Starmie. You throw in your Starmie. They think it has Blizzard and Psychic. Boom, you got Thunderbolt. You're absolutely destroying their Starmie. So be sure to save that Thunderbolt for the shock value. I wouldn't just be throwing Thunderbolts around willy-nilly. Lastly, of course, we have the Tauros with Body Slam, Earthquake for them, Rhydons, Body Slam to paralyze, whatever, Blizzard to maybe freeze and get those low special mons, just get them right to the ground. And of course, Hyper Beam, which is what makes it a late game sweeper. So what's the game plan then, Nicholas? Well, of course, your late game sweeper comes last. Your lead is this. You want to probably swap into Chansey, perhaps. Maybe put something to sleep. Maybe go into Executor. And if they go Rhydon, on your Chansey, maybe drop in a Mega Drain because they think it probably has Sleep Explosion. Drop in a Mega Drain really fast. And maybe switch out to Starmie if they go back into their Starmie because you didn't get the sleep on it and you instead maybe slept their Alakazam or something. Thunderbolt the Starmie. I mean, it's just a pretty basic line. However, it's so effective to have this Gengar out as bait and then use it later as an offensive powerhouse for Explosion. It's just absolutely phenomenal. And of course, Hyper Beaming with the Snorlax is very good. This is a very hyper offensive team in my opinion whenever I used it. So, yeah, just putting things to sleep, surfing shit up, thunderbolting, shock value. Absolutely phenomenal team. 100%, 10 out of 10 recommend. That's going to be it for this episode. See y'all later.